Hola chicos, hoy es jueves el 14 de enero de 2021. Hoy tenemos para empezar, por favor, empieza by getting a 100%, un 100, ¿sí? On this quiz, you're going to have to open it and scroll down until you see the blanks. Then you're watching today's lesson, you're good to go. Then you're going to play that Kahoot to test your understanding. That's really going to help you practice and get these things in your brain. So please do that, and also I think it's a more fun way to interactively learn. Your tarea es página 154 por 155. Muy bien. Ok, hoy, chicos, tenemos algo de gramática nueva, ¿sí? So the English grammar connection is that direct objects receive the action of the verb in a sentence. Hopefully you guys have learned this in English class, right? So if we look down at this example, Luisa is buying the blouse. So you can see this is the direct object because it's receiving the action. What is she buying? The blouse. Another example could be, I am walking the dog. The dog is going to be my direct object. So you can also think, what am I walking? The dog. Okay? I am washing the dishes. The dishes is the direct object, or are the direct objects, because I am washing them. Okay? So it's receiving the action. It says direct objects answer the question whom or what about the verb. So I'm washing what? The dishes. Luisa is buying what? The blouse. The direct object can be a noun or a pronoun. So we could say Luisa is buying the blouse. That's a noun. Luisa is buying it. That's a pronoun. In Spanish, it's going to be Luisa compra la blusa, noun. Luisa la compra. That is going to be our pronoun. Remember, the pronoun is taking the place of the noun. So, in Spanish, direct object pronouns can be used to replace direct object nouns. So you see how this is a direct object noun, and this is direct object pronoun? Same thing in Spanish. What we have is me, te. Now you might think, oh, this is the gusta. This is the gusta forms, but no, it's a little different because in the el, ella, usted form, we have lo and la. Okay, lo is going to be masculine, la is feminine. Then we come over here with nos, os, and los, and las. So these are our third, well, that's not what I wanted to highlight. These are our third person ones. And it depends on if it's masculine or feminine, singular or plural. Anything else just stays the same. Me, te, nos, and os, those aren't going to change. So the direct object noun is placed after the conjugated verb. So if I'm saying, quiero la camisa azul, if I'm going to replace it with a pronoun, I'm going to put it in front of the conjugated verb. La quiero, I want it. However, when an infinitive, remember that's a verb that ends in an ER, AR, or IR, when an infinitive follows the conjugated verb, the direct object pronoun can be placed before the conjugated verb or be attached to the infinitive. So again, if we see an infinitive, we want to add our direct object pronoun. It's either before or attached to the end. So we can either say, los quiero comprar hoy, if we're talking about zapatos negros, los quiero comprar hoy, or I could say, quiero comprarlos hoy. So here we have it in front of the conjugated verb or attached to the infinitive. Hopefully that makes sense. Again, this is our two-verb rule. Very important to remember. If I have two verbs in a row, the first one's conjugated and the second one is an infinitive. I want to buy. And we know a lot of times the infinitive translates directly to and then that verb. So, to buy. Okay? Let's work with these a little bit. If we scroll down to the next page, we have an activity. Un mensajero instantáneo. See? Instantáneo. So here we have two different people messaging each other. She says, Quiero comprar un vestido azul, pero no tengo mucho dinero. Blank, compro. So we have to think, is it going to be lo or la? To decide if it's going to be lo or la, we have to think, what am I talking about? Am I talking about a singular masculine object, or am I talking about a singular feminine object? So let's go back to the sentence. Quiero comprar, I want to buy, un vestido azul. So she's saying, I want to buy a blue dress. Pero no tengo mucho dinero. I do not have that much money. So she's asking, should I buy it? Compro would be the yo conjugation of comprar, so I buy. So here is going to tell us everything we need. Un. That tells us it's singular and masculine. Remember, our singular and plural, our plural masculine would be unos, singular feminine una, plural feminine unas. So we're going to say lo compro because we're replacing un vestido azul. It'd be the same in English if I was saying, I want to buy a blue dress, but I don't have very much money. Should I buy it? Notice the it, okay? So the lo and la means it here. Lo compro. Número dos. Mayor te entiendo. So do you think she's saying, I understand myself, or I understand you? She's going to say, I understand you. Te entiendo. I understand you. Bueno, ¿cuánto cuesta? How much does it cost? El vestido. 29 euros. ¿Y tú qué necesitas comprar? ¿Una blusa blanca? ¿Una blusa blanca? Ya la o los tengo. So what are we talking about? 29 euros. ¿Y tú qué necesitas comprar? Una blusa blanca. She's talking about una blusa blanca. So that is singular and feminine. So we're going to choose la. Ya la tengo. I have una blusa blanca. Necesito unos zapatos. Los zapatos negros son más elegantes. ¿Me os entiendes? So she's asking, do you understand me or do you understand you plural? She's going to say, you understand me. So, ¿me entiendes? Pelirroja 17 or 16. Sí, tienes razón. Tienes razón. Remember that means you have reason or you're right. Sí, tienes razón. Si quieres zapatos negros, if you want black shoes, nos or los venden en the tienda Betún. So she's saying they sell us or they sell them. Los venden. Los venden en la tienda Betún. Y vale. Vale just means like okay or fine. It's a very Spanish term, and that's in Spain. Okay, you're not going to hear many uses of vale in Latin America. Vale. También venden vestidos azules. Blank tienen por 20 euros. So what are we talking about in this blank? We're talking about the vestidos azules. So you can see it's really important that you have to understand the context of the sentences and the paragraph to be able to understand what direct object pronoun goes in the blank. So we're saying, okay, they also sell blue dresses. Blank, they have for 20 euros. So they would say they have them for 20 euros, los. Okay, lo que Enrique quiere. Identifica lo que Enrique quiere y no quiere comprar. Usa pronombres. So, tu modelo es, no le gustan los zapatos anaranjados. So, I would say, Enrique no los quiere comprar. Or, since I have my infinitive here, I can put that to the end. No quiere comprarlos. So let's talk through these. Los pantalones son feos. Do you remember what feos means? If not, you need to keep practicing your Quizlet, okay? Los pantalones son feos would be the pants are ugly. So the correct answer would be Enrique no quiere comprarlos, or Enrique no los quiere comprar. We're using los because it's plural and masculine. Número 2. No le gusta la camiseta. No le gusta la camiseta. Si no le gusta la camiseta, Enrique no quiere comprarla. No quiere comprarla. O Enrique no la quiere comprar. You see how you can always switch them in both ways? And we know it's going to be la because it's singular and feminine. Número 3. Le gustan mucho las camisas. Si le gustan mucho las camisas, Enrique quiere comprarlas. Feminine and plural. Or Enrique las quiere comprar. Alright, we'll do 2 more. Prefiere los calcetines verdes. So if Enrique prefers the green socks, I would say Enrique los quiere comprar, or Enrique quiere comprarlos. And finally, el sombrero es horrible. So this is singular masculine, so we're going to choose lo. Enrique quiere comprarlo, or Enrique lo quiere comprar. Again, if you do the Kahoot, which you should, because I put it in your agenda, that's going to help you a lot to practice these. And of course, your homework is page 154 through 155. That's also going to help you practice these. And we'll continue to look at these tomorrow as well. Finally, last thing, guys, is a little pronunciation tip. For some reason, I always have trouble pronouncing the word pronunciation or pronounce. It's ironic, no? Before an A, O, or U, the Spanish C is pronounced like a K sound in the English language, like the word call. So you probably have noticed this: camisa, comprar, cumpleaños. Same thing as if it's before consonants other than H, like clase, octubre. Now, if a C comes before an E or an I, which we're missing here, it actually sounds like an S. An S. So what word have we learned so far? Cerrar, right? C-E-R-R-A-R means to close. That sounds like an S. Cerrar. Or what about a C-I word? Cita. C-I-T-A means a date. Una cita. So just a fun fact for you guys. Try to keep that in mind as you're pronouncing things along the way. I'm about at 15 minutes, so I'm going to wrap this up, chicos. Adios, have fun playing the Kahoot, y hasta mañana.